Conservatives find an unlikely ally to ban books. Oh, this is going to be about Muslims probably. I assume, because we're talking about Dearborn. Anyway, I forgot to run the ad break. I have such a bad headache. I'm sorry. I'm running it now. I don't know why I have such a bad headache. It's killing me. I took Advil already, and it'll be fine, I think. But it's going to take some time.
We've come to Dearborn, Michigan, where a battle is brewing in the nationwide campaign to ban certain books from public school libraries.
CIA hit me with the headache gun.
Well done.
The Dearborn School Board is meeting to announce whether they'll remove a handful of books from their libraries. The books have been at the center of an intense firestorm for months. The fracas over these books is not unlike the fights that have played out at school boards across the country. Culture wars that we tend to associate with white conservative Christians.
Our children are being at risk. They're being groomed. Who puts this kind of stuff in schools?
It is straight up porn.
Public schools have vivid pornography in it, and these cops won't do anything about it.
But in Dearborn, an unlikely alliance has formed. The city is over 40% Arab and traditionally votes Democratic, but this largely Muslim community also holds strong conservative social views.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you all.
The two books that have drawn the most controversy here, This Book is Gay and Flamer, are both about teens struggling with their sexuality.
You worried about the gay people? No problem. We're not worried about the gay people. We're worried about our children.
Schools are no place to teach children about the complexity of sexuality, gender identification, or sexually explicit material.
Mike Hashem has been one of the most vocal figures in the fight.
Many of our parents and the students' parents do not understand what's going on in the schools. Those types of books, when you read one page, you're already disgusted at it. This teaches you to go against your parents, teaches you to go against your own self.
Talk me through it from the beginning. When and how were you first made aware of this?
So obviously we've seen what was going around in the country at different school boards and things like that. We'd never expected these types of books to be in our schools. Up until I'd say a hero came up. Her name is Stephanie Butler.
God is here to protect us, and I can say my heart is now full, seeing the community come together in the name of protecting our children.
Stephanie Butler is a local realtor who saw what was happening across the country and became...
It's so sick that, like, American assimilation and is so prominent that, like, you can now have, like, second generation and third generation Muslims turn into American hogs now. Muslims historically in the United States of America have been more progressive than white evangelical Protestants like this fucking sick freak. Okay? Like, that's just a fact. There are year over year Pew Center studies conducted on the matter. They are infinitely more tolerant of homosexuality and queerness than white evangelical Protestants are. Because Muslims are the entire span of the religion. They're a small group of people in America in comparison to white evangelical Protestants. But of course, that's the entire religion of Islam. Whereas white evangelical Protestants are more fundamentalist. But what's wonderful here is that now we can have the Muslims also become more, insane and unhinged and hog-like. It's great. That's America, baby.
Came outraged after looking into the books in her daughter's school library. She was the one who originally filed a complaint about the books and rallied the community against them.
The sexualizing of our children between the books, the assignments. If you would investigate and see all the things that I've seen and the amount of our kids that are turning that way, it's
turning
not
what way?
Turning, gay and all this stuff. So basically, the government wants your kids from birth until through college. So they can indoctrinate them, make them think the way they want them to, like everything's normal. And it sounds like a hell of a good conspiracy theory, and I wish it was. I really do.
Do you feel like this struggle that you're in the middle of, do you think it pertains to conservative Islamic values as well? Is there an overlap there? Is that why this coalition is happening?
Yeah, there's a huge overlap. A lot of our values are the same.
And these people from across the various ethnic and religious communities, was that surprising to you?
No, only because I live here in Dearborn, so I know like what their values are. I think it was surprising to a lot of people. I was painted as a white Christian nationalist, basically that was leading all these ethnic people off a cliff, insinuating that these people are not educated and they don't know how to think for themselves.
And
I mean, yeah, it's true. It's 100% true, and I'll say it. Those fucking dummies that want to ban those books are stupid and can't think for themselves. Straight up. I'll say it. Fuck you mean. And I'll also say that you are a Christian nationalist, you psycho. Yeah. Fuck those guys. They should ask her how she feels about the war on terror. You know, maybe they'll understand that her intentions are not as pure. Anyway, it's bullshit. I don't give a fuck what your religion is. The moment that you use it against people learning shit, you're a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck if you're Muslim. I don't give a fuck if you're Jewish. I don't give a fuck if you're Christian. Do that shit. It's unacceptable.
I'm not saying you're leading them off a cliff, but are you a leader in this, call it a movement?
Oh, absolutely. In the south end of Dearborn, it's predominantly Yemeni, and they call me the mother of the south end.
One of the biggest sources of tension is a single page in the book Flamer, where some kids are playing a prank on the main character, pretending to masturbate into a bottle and telling him that the person who doesn't climax has to drink it. Nothing explicit is shown. Some of the key figures in the fight are a little fuzzy on the details. So these books we're talking about, how do you have access to them?
We know the titles, and we did our research.
And then you read the books?
Partially. I don't want to read the whole book, you know, just to...
Why?
It's just a moral thing with me.
I found the part that you guys are talking about, but like, I'm having trouble, like, seeing...
So read this part.
All right. We're each busting a load into this bottle. If you don't come, you have to drink it. Ha 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 ha.
The context of it, what does that refer to?
You don't know the context because you haven't read the page before or the page after.
But what does that refer to?
They're hinting. That's part of the joke. Have your kids read these books?
I don't have any kids.
Oh, you don't have kids?
I don't have kids.
That's so funny. It's always motherfuckers with no kids, too. It's like, why are you... Dude... Fuck. It reminds me of a clip that went viral on TikTok and on Twitter recently. I've been intending to watch it. Of this woman absolutely destroying like a trans bathroom pervert guy. You know what I mean? One of those sickos who's like, trans people can't use the bathroom. What the fuck is her name? She was on, I think, The Daily Show too. Is this a Muslim David DePappy? Yeah. Oh, yep. You found it. God damn, you found it so quick. I want to watch the full video, though. We'll watch it in a second. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's watch it right now. This is Jenna Friedman.
Genderism is
absolutely fucking destroying this fool.
Where the person feels that they will find happiness through mutilating their body.
A girl in my yoga class got a boob job.
To be fair, that's wild to put in a... Wait. Kind of wild to put in a school book. First of all, there are, I mean, dude, it's like, what's a tree grows in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Depictions of horrifying things are taught in school, books that you read at school all the fucking time. Because they are a part of existence. But that's not a fucking middle school book either. I think that's like a high school book or some shit. And not only that, but also like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, no, they should be able to read stuff like that. I don't have an issue with it. It's not like a fucking kindergartner's reading that shit.
And feels that they will find happiness through...
And it's not even required reading. It's like something that you want to, if you want to read, you can read because it's in the library. Like, that's crazy.
Mutilating their body.
A girl in my yoga class got a boob job.
No, that would be completely different from transgender, which is
Yeah, oh, fuck. And the last part of it is that the book is not about Limp Bizkit, dummies, or how to do a Limp Bizkit. The book is literally about bullying and suicide, and it's for teenagers who are queer that could go and read it if they want to read it. Fuck, I'm literally incapable of watching a 1-minute fucking clip. God damn it!
Genderism is where the person feels that they will find happiness through mutilating their body.
A girl in my yoga class got a boob job.
No, that would be completely different from transgender, which is pretending to be the opposite sex in order to find happiness.
So the problem is people doing things to find happiness.
It comes from a breakdown. Actually, it's a breakdown of the family unit.
Do you have a wife?
No.
Kids?
No. But I'm worried about the consequences for children throughout our state and nation.
So you're doing everything in your power to protect children from other grown men besides yourself.
Well, they'll put it as, well, you have no children, so why are you interested in children?
You can be interested in children for other reasons than because you have them.
Right.
Some of those reasons are illegal.
That was awesome.
I plan on having kids.
Yeah. If you had kids, do you think this...
No shot, motherfucker. You are not having kids, bro.
Don't have kids. I plan on having kids.
Yeah. If you had kids, do you think this book would make your kids drink cum?
My kids, first of all, will not be reading those types of books. Second of all, when someone is 18, they could do whatever they want.
Drink as much cum as they want.
Whatever they want.
How is this representing the LGBT youth community?
It's so funny. First of all, this is such a funny drawing. It's like this guy literally personally doesn't even have a problem with like homosexuality either, but like, you know, he'll get there. He'll get there. He's just like right now, he's like, no, not for children, but maybe in the future it's okay.
Do they want to be represented as a bunch of like sexual deviants?
The media specialists have completed the initial review process of the following books that have been formally challenged. This book is gay, and All Boys Aren't Blue. Both were found to be appropriate for high school students.
The board did not rule on Flamer at this meeting. They later found that it was also appropriate for high school students. The decision came as a relief for teachers like Jane Mazza.
I'm so tired of people saying that teachers are indoctrinating kids and that we're pedophiles and that we're peddling smut. We're just trying to teach and get these kids where they need to be. There's 1,800 teachers in our union, and every day they come to work and they work so hard and they spend their own money and they give every inch of their soul to these kids in this community. And to have them attack like this, it just rips my heart.
I'm gonna burn this book, and then you can reorder it 100 times, and then parents can have their kids check it out.
You're actually going to burn the library book?
Well, no, but they're not getting it back. That's the one about coming in a bottle and drinking it, and, you know, masturbation and this and that.
Also about saving someone who's trying to commit suicide and how it was important. And he was
Yeah,
a Boy Scout.
well, they can do that
He was
without,
a Boy Scout and
but
an
they
altar
can do
boy.
that without the sex.
He was a Boy Scout and
Why
an
do the
altar
kids
boy.
need to be represented like
You're
that?
picking
Jane?
one page.
Yeah, well, funny you call us.
Get her! Get her ass!
Okay, honey, white Nazi, remember we helped you, Jane. She's the teacher union president. She's a bitch.
So what's next?
Yeah, she's the bitch.
So what's next is we plan on doing a school board recall, and we have filed a lawsuit against the school under the guise of concerned parents. I mean, our ultimate goal is to like stop sexualizing the kids and just let them be kids.
It's always funny because none of these motherfuckers have children at that school too. They're like, oh no, I'm homeschooling, or oh, I don't even have children yet. Yeah, she openly said under the guise. There you go. That's all you need to know.
So you guys have had some challenging couple of months. There's been some pretty loud school board meetings.
Sure.
How did all this start?
So there's been concerns for the books that are in our libraries. I mean, we have 500,000 books in our libraries. It's probably the first time we've heard the concern brought up. So parents have been coming to the board meetings to express those concerns, on both sides, to be honest.
Some books contain tough subjects. They deal with...
It's insane. And anyone seeing it as anything but a self-report, when someone says stop sexualizing our children's reading material, when it's literally educational matter, is wrong. My mouth is on fire right now. I'm sorry. But at least my headache is slowly going away. Holy fuck. Oh. I mean, remember. Where was it? Here. That's all you need to see, baby. Look at this shit. Look at this image. Now, I'm careless enough to show this and know that, like, this is not a terms of service violation. She is pointing to this image and going, look at how sexy this is. Why are our children being turned on by this sexy man who is well hung? In comparison to my husband, this penis is much larger. He has a square jaw, unlike my husband. I don't want children to be turned on like I am when I look at this image behind me of a clear, hung like a horse man. Like, you're pointing to this and going, look at how sexual this is. It's like, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're an insane person.
Parents have been coming to the board meetings to express those concerns, on both sides, to be honest.
Some books contain tough subjects. They deal with issues of gender, of sexuality, and things like that. Why should these issues and subjects be available at all to kids in school? Why do we need them?
We are a public school district, okay? We're welcoming for students from a variety of ethnicities. You know, we welcome different genders. We accommodate our students. And in those nominal groups, we want students to be able to, you know, identify themselves as well. You want kids to feel welcome in the district, and so you want them to have access to that material.
Books that describe their experience.
Yeah, that they can identify with.
Some people might say that it's not a book's place, or it's not the school's place.
It's not a book's place.
It's
not a book. Some people might say it's not a book's place to educate.
Teach my child about these issues, about sexuality and these sort of things. These are things you talk to with your parents.
I love that. I'm a fan of that mentality, actually. Some people might say books should not be teaching children. And I am the people. I'm the one who thinks that. Stop reading. I want to go to these school board meetings and be the parent who's like, why are we teaching our children how to read? I have done well without reading my whole life. There has never been a moment where I needed to read.
For your religious leaders or people in the community, what would you tell them?
So I'd say they have the opt-out. You can opt out, no problem. But we have other parents that say, no, we want this material for my kids. What about my kids that are in those nominal groups? We want that material for them. Why should they be deprived? What we've said is, you can make a decision on your child, but you don't get a right to make a decision on every other child in the district. I understand that parents have a concern and we're listening, but it has been a huge distraction. Some of the civility has gone out the window.
But what about the people who don't know you, people who, you know, assume that you're peddling pornography through the school libraries?
I mean, I would just say that they're misinformed and, you know, get informed then.
What is the importance of not getting rid of books just because a certain group is asking for it? Why should we?
It is pretty funny. You see a man that has been ruthlessly brutalized his entire life, that, like, he responds to the question of, what about the people who call you a pedophile? So, yeah, those people are misinformed. I saw a lot of myself in that man for a brief moment, dude. Just Kids should be reading real American novels. Like, oh my God. Thug, A Dark Boston Irish Mafia Romance by Sophie Austin. I love that this is about perhaps one of the most underrepresented groups, the Irish Mafia. As far as like crime and representation of crime, you don't usually see Irish mobsters. I mean, most of them are just in the police force. You know what I mean? They like decided to continue doing mob shit, but just, with a badge. So I love that personally.
If not resist, then at least think about why we should keep these books.
I mean, I think it's a slippery slope. You got to be careful. Where do you draw the line? And where does it end? That's why we have to have a process that is fair and that is reviewed and is followed to make sure that the books are appropriate and to make sure that we're not inappropriately pulling books off the shelves. I mean, where does it end? Where would you stop?